This is lesson 4 of the course. So if you're still going at this point, you already would have found you've learnt a lot, and you would also probably feel that you're starting to feel the benefits that yoga has. So let's get started. Today we're going to start a little bit more dynamically. So I want you to stand with your feet together, look down, check that your level of your 2 big toes is the same, and that your inner heels are touching and your big toe base is touching. Squeeze your knees, inner knees towards each other. Press your thighs back so your legs are straight. Raise your chest up. Head in the center. Back ribs in. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, arms to the side. Open your chest. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, arms to the side. Inhale, exhale. Now interlock the fingers, extend the hands away. Try and bring the thumbs back towards you and the little fingers back towards you, but push that middle finger part of the hand away. Take the arms up, squeeze the elbows in, lift the sides of the chest up, bring the arms down. Change the interlock, the other finger in front. Push the webbing away, the inner part of the hand away, draw the little finger back, draw the thumb back, elbows in. Take the arms up, lift the side chest up, bring the arms down, hands by the side. Now we're going to go straight into some of that, the jumping action of the legs. We'll go a little slowly to begin. Hands up, bend the knees, and arms and legs together they extend out. Hands to the chest, bend the knees, arms go in that circle down as the legs come up. Raise the chest. Hands up, touch the thumbs to the chest, elbows in line with the hands, and then bend the knees, legs and arms extend out together. Check your distance. A leg length between the legs, and when we jump out, arms to the side, hands to the chest, bend and jump. Now, jumping is good because it helps to create kind of lightness and movement. If you've got a bad back, if you've got other things, maybe just work on the stepping out action. 1 leg, 2 legs, arms out. Arms back, 1 leg, 2 legs. So that's just an alternative if the jumping isn't appropriate. Hands to the chest, bend the knees, arms and legs, jump. Notice when I land that the knees bend so the landing is soft. So the arms come up, the knees bend. So as you're going out, I jump out, the knees bend to make it a soft landing. Hands to the chest, jump in, land softly. Hands to the chest, bend, land, bending the knees to jump softly. Hands up, bend, jump back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is a little new today. We're going to look at Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog pose. So you're going to be starting on your mat. You want to come towards the back edge of your mat. Sit the buttocks to the heels as much as you can, and then really extend your arms as far forward as you can. From here, I want you to bring your shoulders, just watch this first one, and then we'll do it together. So just watching, turn the toes under, straighten the legs, raise the hips up, and push back towards dog pose. I'll bend the knees from there, watch the feet, I tuck them under, and I take the buttocks to the heels. Just watch one more time. Come up, shoulders over the hands, watch the toes, they turn under. Then I'm going to lift the hips and I'm going to push the legs back to reach back, chest back to dog pose. Bend the knees and buttocks to the heels. So let's do that together now. So arms extended forward, buttocks as down as you can get it. Keep the arms straight. Come up, bring the shoulders over the hands. Turn your feet. Raise the hips and push back to dog pose. Straighten your legs. Bend your knees. Turn your feet flat. Buttocks down. Inhale, come up. Shoulders over the hands. Turn the toes under. Raise the hips. Go back to dog pose. Bend the knees. Turn the toes flat and go back to dog pose. Let's do a couple more, a little quicker. Inhale, up, shoulders over the hands, turn the toes, press back, legs straight. Bend the knees, turn the feet flat, and go down. Reach your arms forward, last one, come up, shoulders over the hands, turn the toes, and go back to dog pose. Lengthen back. Now bend the knees and sit. So that's our first little introduction to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We're going to go back now to some of the standing poses that we've been learning over the last 3 weeks. Trikonasana, Virabhadrasana II, Parsvakonasana, Virabhadrasana I. We're going to move through those ones with a little less demonstration, and we're going to work on just kind of moving through what we know on those poses. So remember, it's important at this point that you've kind of watched those earlier lessons, and we're building on from that point. So stand in Tadasana, raise your chest, bring your shoulders back, weight back into the heels, knees back, thighs back, chest up, eyes straight ahead. Hands to the chest, bend the knees, jump. Now we're going to turn the right leg out, take the hand down to the shin, top arm up, both legs are straight, press the outside edge of the back foot to the floor. Now turn the right chest forward, the left shoulder back, extend the top arm up, press into the feet, and come up. We're staying on the same side. Take the right arm up, extend the right arm out, press the back heel down, hand to the shin, top hand to the waist, turn the top shoulder up, take the head a little back from the chin away from the chest, then top arm up. Now turn the chest to look up, breathe, press into the feet, and come up. Turn the feet to the center, hands to the chest, and jump back. Feet together. Let's do the other side. Hands to the chest, bend the knees, jump. Turn the front leg out, back heel down, legs straight, arms straight. Press into the back foot as you take the hand down to the shin. Top arm up. Turn the bottom chest to the front. Turn the top shoulder back. Turn the head to look up. Press into the feet, legs straight. Come up. Arm up. Press the back heel down. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. Hand to the shin. Top arm up. Take the top hand to the chest. And return that top shoulder back. Take the chin a little away from the chest. And now extend the top arm up. Breathe. Press into the feet and come up. Turn to the center. Hands to the chest. Bend the knees. Jump. Tadasana. Roll the shoulders back. Stand into the heels. Quieten the eyes. Quieten the face. Quieten the throat. Trikonasana again. Hands to the chest, bend, jump. Turn the back leg a little in, turn the front leg out completely. Arms straight, legs straight. Take the hand down. Remember the trunk stays in line over the right leg. So just look down. Your head should be in line with the foot. Your armpit in line with the knee and the leg. And now bring that top side of your body, top chest back, back. Extend the top arm up. Bring your front leg buttocks forward. Press your back leg back and turn and look up. Breathe. Press into the feet to come up. Turn to the center. Turn to the other side. Turn the back leg a little in, turn the front leg out completely. So this side of the trunk, left armpit, left waist. Keep it going down over the front leg, over the front leg. Look down, so your head in line with the foot, your armpit in line with the knee. Squeeze the buttocks in from the behind. Take the head and shoulders a little back and extend the top arm up. Breathe. Press into the feet, keeping the legs straight as you come up. Turn. Extend the arms, raise the chest, jump the feet back. Tadasana. Raise the chest up, shoulders back. Breathe. Now we're going straight to Parsvakonasana. So it's a wider distance in jumping. Hands up, bend the knees, jump. Turn the back foot a little in, turn the front leg out completely. Now we're going to bend this right leg to make a square. So you bend the front thigh, bring it down, then take the hand down on the outside of the knee, and if you can see, my fingers are in like a cup shape. They're like this cupped, but they're behind the leg. And I'm going to push away from the floor and turn the top shoulder up. Look down, your face in line with the foot, your side of your trunk in line with the right leg. Take the top arm up, open the chest, so the top shoulder back. Front leg is bent, back leg is straight. Press into the feet, come up. Turn to the other side. Turn this leg out completely. Right at this top of the thigh, rotate the thigh. To check, your foot, your knee are facing sideways. Don't let your knee roll in. Very important that this knee, this thigh, this shin is facing sideways. Now bend the leg, knee in line over the shin, top arm down. Sorry, bottom arm down, top arm up. Sink down, look how far the buttocks come down. They come down as low as the back of the knee and the back leg is straight. Now turn the top shoulder back, top chest back, and keep the head a little away, a chin away from the chest. Turn to look up. Now press into the feet, legs straight, come up, turn, jump the feet back. So we're going to go a little further with the top arm. Hands to the chest, Parsvakonasana, jump. Raise the chest up. Turn the back leg in, turn the front leg out. Bend the front leg, make a square, fingertips in that cup shape to the floor, top arm up. So you can see here my arms are almost over the top of each other. And I'm going to turn to bring this top shoulder back, top chest back, and look up. Now I'm going to turn the arm and bring the arm a little over there, but I still want to look up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Press into the feet to come up. Turn to the center. Turn to the left side. Bend the front leg. Make a square between here. So look at this shape. Knee, remember, over ankle. Fingertips to the floor. Back leg is straight. Top arm is up and you're turning the chest. Turning the chest up. So both sides of my chest are facing forward. Then I'm going to turn the arm and start to bring it a little over the head in that direction. Top elbow is straight. Fingers are extending. Breathe. If you can, turn to look up. Press and come up. Turn to the center. Raise the chest. Jump the feet back. Tadasana. Inner edges of your feet touching. Big toe base touching. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest up. Shoulder blades in. Breathe. Close the eyes for a moment. And now I want you to observe the four corners of your feet. So your inner heel, down. Outer heel, down. Big toe base, down. Little toe base, down. Let your eyes open. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Make them compact. As if you're squeezing the outer thighs into the hip sockets. Then raise the chest up more. Eyes steady, eyes straight. Remember, breath through the nose. Step the feet hip width apart. We're going to go resting to Uttanasana. Hands to the shins. Go down, go down, go down. Keeping the legs straight. So don't bend the knees. Doesn't matter how far the legs go, hands go, but don't bend the knees. And then release the head down. If you're down at your feet and your legs are straight, take your hands to the floor. But keep the legs straight. Then release the head and the neck at the back to come down. Breathe. Hands resting on the legs if you're there. Could be, you might be high, you might be at the shin, that's okay, but keep the legs straight. Press into the feet and come up. Step with the feet together. Now just at this moment, I'll just remind you, if we were in a class situation and we were seeing someone who may be struggling a bit with a pose, we might get them to do it in all sorts of ways. We might have them back against a wall. We might have them using props like a brick for the hand to enable them to go a little more down. So there's all these little modifications that you might get in a class situation when you've got a teacher in front of you who's kind of seeing what you need and giving you that. Because we're doing this in a video format, I'm just giving you it the very straight way. But just to know, there's many alternative ways we might approach some of these poses if you've got an injury, if you've got problems that we need to work with. So let's move on to Virabhadrasana II. Hands to the chest, wide distance, jump the feet out. Turn the back foot in, turn the whole of the front leg out. Remember, shoulders and hips stay in line. So both sides of my trunk stay in line with the hips. And now extend the arms, bend the front leg, so all the way down. Get this thigh to go down, down, sink down, sink down. Arms up, bend down, back leg is straight. And then you're going to turn your head and look along the front arm. Press and come up. Turn to the center. Turn the back foot in. Turn the front leg out. Front leg, you're going to bend. Bend the thigh, sink down, sink down. So the thigh goes down, knee over the ankle, top of the thigh as low as this part of the thigh. Now extend the arms, look along the front arm, breathe, and come up. Turn, jump the feet back. Tadasana. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest up. So as you get tired in these standing ways, particularly Virabhadrasana II, this has to stay open. This armpit chest, these ribs, this lift in the trunk is what's going to support your arms. So if you're getting tired, you'll probably find your chest is sinking. So the more you lift the chest, the more easy it is for the arms to be held out to the side. Hands to the chest, bend, jump. Turn the back foot in, turn the front leg out. I'll go back through a few points as we go. Little reminders. Heel of the front foot cutting through the arch of the back foot. So if you had one floorboard, my heel, that would run a line right through the middle of that. So you're quite on a narrow plane with the feet. Bend the front leg, sink down, keep the trunk in the middle, both sides of the chest in the middle, both sides facing forward. Now I'm going to turn the head to finish the pose to look along the front arm. Chest up, extend sharply right past your fingertips. Press and come up. Turn, keep the arms up. Remember to raise the chest up. Turn to the other side. Bend the front leg down, 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 down. And now extend the arms. Bend, down, down, down. And come up. Turn to the center. Arms to the chest. Jump back. Now, if there's something that you're wanting to kind of have another look at, just let it run, watch, and then you can rewind it and follow again with the instructions as we go. So sometimes it might be something you kind of didn't quite catch, you want to hear it again, just pause, watch it through, pause, go back and do it again. Because some of these poses, I'm just running through them now because we've done them for a few weeks in a row. Now we're going to Virabhadrasana I. Hands to the chest, bend, jump. Hands to the hips this time. So we're going to turn the feet. We started to look at this in the last couple of weeks. Turn the back foot well in. Turn the front leg out. With this hand, just going to guide this back hip around towards the front. Take the arms up, elbows straight. And you're going to bend the front leg, but lift the chest up. Bend the front leg. Back leg remains straight, knee up, thigh up, lift the chest up, press and come up. Hands to the side, hands to the hips. Back leg well turned in. So if you look, I'm really turning from that back leg around, and I'm going to turn the front leg out completely. Chest up, shoulders back. This back hip, if you have a look, it's really come all the way around. And to do that, I actually had to lift that back heel up to turn. Arms up, chest up. Now bend the front leg. Keep extending as if someone's lifting me up through the arms, even though I'm going to bend down with the leg, up through the arms, up through the trunk. Back leg is straight, front leg has bent down. Press, come up, turn, hands together, touch the chest, bend your knees, jump your feet in. Roll the shoulders back. Back ribs in, chest open. Let's do that again. Virabhadrasana I. Hands touch the chest, elbows in line with the hands. Bend the knees, jump. Knees bending as you land. Hands to the hips. Back foot turn well in. Turn the front leg out. Now, I still have to get this hip to come around. So I'm going to lift that back heel and turn it. Back waist, back outer thigh, turn forward. Now, if you need to, you can adjust this back heel. If the leg isn't turning, turn that hip around. Arms up. Bend the front leg. Keep the back leg straight. Remember now, the shoulders and the hips are in line. Press and come up. Extend. Hands to the waist. Back leg in, front leg out. Turn the hip. Arms up. Raise the chest. Bend the leg. Bend the leg. Bend the leg. Back leg straight, front leg bend. And lift the chest up. Remember, shoulders are over the hips. Breathe. Press and come up. Turn and jump the feet back. Step the feet hip width apart. Just rest there for a moment. So just also remind you, what you're trying to do in this course is not just do. It's part of what we're, part of it, but really what you're trying to do is learn the correct way to do some of these poses. And that's forever refining over the years, but what you want to learn in this course is a bit more the technique. Yes, we'll repeat it and we'll do it, but gradually you'll build up how you should do it, how much distance you should have, what should happen with your arms, what should happen with your legs. So especially these poses where you kind of need to see them again, watch, have a look, go back, do them again. It's a gradual thing of learning, not just doing now. And it's a course about learning the foundations. Tadasana. Raise the chest up. Shoulders back. So remember, Tadasana we come back to between all the poses. It's our place where we come back between when we've done a pose, a standing pose, we come back to this. It's a pose in itself. It's a pose that's steady. So when you're standing, it feels steady. By bringing the weight back into the heels, we're steadier. Legs are straight, eyes are straight. Breathe. So it's important between the poses to come back to Tadasana, to kind of regroup, to settle before we go on to the next pose. Now today we're going to add a couple of poses. We've got 2 new poses. We're just going to begin to look at them. The first one, which we've touched on a little bit before, is Vrksasana. So you're going to stand with the feet together, and we're going to start looking at balance. You'll bend this first leg up, keeping the bottom foot steady. You have to watch that bottom toe, bottom heel. That has to be glued to the floor. And you bring this top leg up as high as you can and place the foot against the leg. Really important your eyes stay fixed, looking at something without moving around. So now you're standing on one leg. You can see this foot is pulled right up and this knee is turned to the side. This bottom foot is, you can see it's working quite hard. Big toes having to stay down, the heels having to stay down. Arms to the side. Now this is a good place if you can stay here. If you're okay, go further. Lift the chest up, Vrksasana. Hands down, feet down. Other leg. So really before you even go to this other leg, this bottom foot has to stay steady. I kind of take the weight off this leg, so I stand on the standing leg, 4 corners of the feet down, and I'm going to take my hand down and grab this ankle, shin, and pull this foot up as high as I can up towards the groin, and then you watch, I push the foot in against the inner thigh, and then I push this leg back against the leg. So there's a coming together of the foot and the leg. Eyes steady, bottom foot, the heel, the big toe all down, eyes looking at something and not moving about, arms to the side. So as soon as the concentration goes, the balance goes. Heel against the leg, leg against the foot, raise the chest up, arms up, extend up. Arms to the side and down. So these balance poses really teach us how to focus the mind. So if your mind isn't there, you'll find you don't hold the balance. So not only do we learn how to balance, but we start to learn really how to focus the mind. If you're really struggling with that pose, just go for a minute and stand next to a wall, kind of this far away from a wall, and see if that makes a difference. Because if you're this close to a wall, even if you're not touching the wall, it will improve your balance. I'll just show you how important keeping the eyes steady is for balance. Now we're going to go a little further with a balancing pose. So it's a new one. So just stand with your feet hip width apart and watch the first time I go through it, and then we'll do it together. Hands to the chest. Jump. Turn the feet. We're going to go through Trikonasana. Down. Now I'm just going to move back on the mat a little bit, just so I'm kind of in range of the camera. So I'm going to come back a little further this way. Hand to the shin, top hand down to the waist. This bottom foot has to stay glued to the floor now. I'm going to bend the front knee. I'm going to step, you watch here, the back leg in, and I'm going to take the front hand forward. So just watch that again. I'm back in Trikonasana. Hand is on the hip. I'm bending, front knee, and I'm taking the back foot in and the front hand forward. See how far it is ahead of the foot? Then I'm going to lean forward over that hand, and then I'm going to raise this back leg up. Raise the back leg up as high as you can get it. Then I want you to straighten the front leg as much as you can straighten the front leg. So you'll be here. You're balancing on one leg. You can see the back leg is straight. You'll come down, and you're going to step back to Trikonasana. Front leg straight. We'll take the top arm up, open the chest. So we're in Trikonasana. Press and come up. So I'm just going to come back to the edge of the mat, and I'll just go through Trikonasana. So we've jumped out, taking the hand down. We're in Trikonasana. So the first of these standing poses we do. top hand is down. Now watch the actions again. Front knee bends, this front hand, it's going forward on the little toe side, and you watch what happened to the back leg, it came in. I'll show you that again. So we're here, hands down, I bend this front knee, I take the hand forward, and I'm taking this back leg in. So you just come in, and I'm going to lean forward, and then I'm going to lift, keeping this back leg straight, I'm going to lift it up, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up, then as much as I can, I'm going to straighten the front leg. Turning the shoulders so that the shoulders turn up, but at this stage I want you to still look at the floor, and that will help you with the balance. And then you'll step back, hand to the shin in Trikonasana, top arm up. So we're going to do that together. So this time you have to kind of listen a little more than look, because you're going to be looking at the floor, so you'll have to be kind of following some more of the voice commands rather than the eyes this time, because you're going to have to need to look down to keep your concentration and your focus. Trikonasana, jump. Turn the feet out, hand to the shin, Trikonasana. Top hand down, bend the knee, hop the back foot in, front hand, little toe side of the foot, raise the back leg up. Bend the knee, come down, step back, hand to the shin, Trikonasana, top arm up. Press and come up. Turn. Hands to the hips, turn the feet, turn the legs. So we're now going to the other side, the left side. Go down, top hand to the waist, bend the front knee, hand forward, back foot step in, front foot keep it steady. Now I'm going to lift the back leg up as high as I can, straightening the leg, keep it straight as you lift it. Now straighten the bottom leg to where you can. Now if you can, push away from the floor and turn your chest. Bend the knee, step back, Trikonasana, hand to the shin, turn and come up. Turn to the center, jump, feet back. Now Ardha Chandrasana is a little more complex a pose. It's got a transition from another pose. It's got this element where you're having to balance, raising the back leg up, all your weight's on one leg and one hand. So it's taking the standing poses a little step further. Like any of these things, it's practice. The more you practice it, the easier it will come. So it's a good, really good pose to just go back through what we've done, look at the demonstration, go back through when we did it together, repeat it a couple of times. We'll repeat it again in the next few weeks and we'll take it a bit further. Now there's another standing pose I want to introduce this week, and it's called Parivrtta Trikonasana. So I'm going to get you just to watch me first. You'll be jumping the feet apart. Now we're just going to the very preliminary part of this pose today, very beginning taste of it. Turn the feet to the side. Now I'm going to take this back hand and I'm going to keep my legs straight, and if you watch, I'm going to swing down, hand down to the leg and come up. So I'm beginning this twist. It's a Parivrtta Trikonasana. It's a twisting variation on Trikonasana. So if you watch, this back hand comes around and my chest and trunk turn. It turns as I go down. I keep the legs straight and I come up. Really important is this back leg. It has to push down, because you're going to, as you take this weight forward, if this base isn't down, you'll find your balance go. So this back heel, back leg, back heel, hold it down. Let's do it together. Hand across, go down and come up. Go down, come up. Go down, come up. So almost not giving you much instruction at this point. Just keep it simple. The movement, the basics of the movement, a lot of the things will fall into place. Turn to the left side. So this is just the very beginning of this pose. It's how we would start you kind of learning this pose. It goes a lot further, but this is where we begin. Back leg, heel down, that gives you balance. So this back hand comes across, this other hand swings out, it goes down and come up. Just watch one more time. My legs stay straight. This back arm, it comes across, so I reach down. The other arm you'll find just goes where it needs to go. You don't have to think about that too much. Let's do it together. Go down, touch, come up. Go down, touch, come up. Go down, touch, come up. Back leg straight. One more time. Go down, touch, come up. Turn the feet back to the center. Extend the arms, bend the knees, jump the feet back. Now we're going to finish on our standing poses today, we're going to Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands to the chest, wide distance, knees bend, jump. The widest of all our standing pose distances between the legs. Hands to the hips, raise the chest up. Before you go forward, check your feet. Are either of your feet turning out? Keep the toes forward, heels back, and raise the chest up. Go down, look forward, press into the feet, come up. So I'm trying to keep this part long. I'm trying to keep my back ribs in. I go down, I look forward, press, come up, lift your chest one more time, down, heels down, fingertips to the floor, eyes forward, chest forward, hands to the hips, hold the legs as you press and come up. Really important that you're lifting up your knees, you're pressing down into your heels. So the legs here are firm. In a big jump, hands out, bend the knees, jump back. Tadasana. Let's finish in this last Tadasana today. Inner, outer heel down equally. Big toe, little toe base down. Open the arches of your feet forward. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest up. Breath through the nose. Squeeze the outer thighs into your hip sockets. Push the fronts of your knees, fronts of your thighs back. Eyes steady. And release. Now we're going to come back now next to have a look at shoulder stand. Really important beginning of this next pose. So we've come to the part of the course which is in some ways a little more complex, and it's when we introduce the first of the real inverted poses, and we'll be looking today at Salamba Savangasana. More commonly, word we use is shoulder stand. Now, a couple of things with this pose. It's assuming firstly that you've already been doing the work through the last few classes and you've repeated those classes and your body's already strong. There's a certain understanding starting to come. Now, shoulder stand, when I'm teaching it or when we're teaching it here at the centre, we won't be taking everyone into it at this point. Some people will be doing a more supported version, taking their legs up the wall. So it's something that, assuming you've got a few things. If you've got any neck issues, things like that, probably not good to do this unless you're doing it under the supervision of a teacher. If you've got high blood pressure, again, do it under seek out a teacher and do it under the supervision of a teacher. It's best not to do any of the inverted poses during menstruation. So they're the main things. If you're not sure, again, seek out an experienced teacher who can take you through this. So I'm going to really want to explain a bit of it today, and we'll be going into it. Now I mentioned last week we needed some support. So what I've got here, I've got 4 blankets. So they're just what we use in Iyengar yoga, these blankets. And I've just put them all neatly stacked, so I've got an edge here. So you can see this edge. And the purpose of the blankets is so that my shoulders will remain on the blanket. My head will then rest to the floor, but the weight of the pose will be on my shoulders and it won't be really on my head and my neck. My head will be down, but as you'll see, there's not really much weight on the neck or weight on the head. All the weight will be on the shoulders and the arms, and that's what we want to do in shoulder stack. So a couple of other pieces of equipment I've got a strap, a belt. Now, this is to hold your elbows together so they don't slip apart. I've got a chair because we're going to go over to a pose called Halasana, and rather than take the feet all the way to the floor, which can be quite difficult in the beginning if your body's a bit stiffer, we're going to go to the chair. So if you haven't got these things or equivalents, I mean you can use anything as long as you've got some height here. You can use something that's going to give you this same shape. You'll need some distance for the elbows to go back and this kind of height to rest down on. If you haven't got all that stuff today, just watch the demonstration, come back to it, when you've got all this equipment. So I'm going to take this belt, and with my chest open, I'm going to make the belt as wide as my shoulder tips. If you're a bit stiffer in the shoulder, give yourself a bit of extra space, a bit of extra room on this belt. Now, you're going to come to sit on the blanket, and you just remember just watching now rather than trying to do. And then I'll put the belt on just one of my arms, just above the elbow. And I'm going to lie back, and I'm going to have this is probably the important part at the moment, is that my shoulders are about, let's say, 2 inches. You can see 3 inches are just a little bit more than a palm width away from the edge. How far is my chair away from my blankets? Ideally, if my shoulders are on the blankets and I reach back and my arms are straight, because that's where my feet are going to go, so that's how far I want the chair to be away from me. Then I'm going to take my arms this way. Now this next part can be a little difficult, and I'll give you a few options in a moment. So from here I'm going to bend the knees up and I'm going to take my feet to the chair. I'm going to bend down. Now you may need to put something under here, like a brick or a bolster or another blanket. If you can't roll over, you're going to take something just to lift your hips up. But you're going to roll over, just feet to the chair. Just do that a few times. So still just watching, but hands are here, bending the knees up, and I'm taking the feet to there. So that's something you have to kind of get to first. Remember, if you're not getting up, lift up, put something under here. This will help you roll up. Now we're going to go a little further. From there, I'm going to bend the knees in again, take the feet to the chair, and my hands now are going to come onto my back to lift my back up. So if you can see, the back ribs are really in. They're forward, and ideally I'm kind of straight up here. Hands are on the back, and I'm holding the back ribs in. That's the first position to be in. Just be there, get a feel for that, be steady here. Now, can be also a little tricky. Here's this belt. I'm going to put the belt on both elbows. So it's just going to stop my elbows slipping out. Hands on the back. And then again, I'm going to lift up my back ribs. You can see I'm just on the tips of my toes. So you want to be steady here, feel confident enough to be here. If this feels okay, what do I do next? Now I'm going to keep one foot down, and I'm going to take the other leg up slowly, up to here. I'll come down, I'll take the other foot up. If you look here, my back ribs are really in. If you look at my hands, the fingers are into the center, and these thumbs are wrapped around the side. I'll come down. So we'll repeat that. We'll take one leg up, again just watching now, and I'll come down.
So I'm feeling okay, this feels steady, I feel like I'm not going to tip over. Then I can bring the other leg up to be in full shoulder stand. Now if you're doing it for the first time, don't stay long. You're just there just to get a feel and a taste for it. All these different stages, you might just get to here. Work on this part, hands on the back, staying here. You may just take one leg up. If that, you can go a little further. Other leg up. All the time, if you look here, my back ribs are into the body. And you'll come down. Now, to come all the way down, you undo the strap off your arms, bend the knees towards your chest, and you roll yourself down, buttocks to the floor, and then you'll bring your shoulders over this way. Now, the best way, we'll just do it one more time, we'll go through it a little more quickly and you can kind of do it with me. When we teach this at the centre, we demonstrate it, we go and get the students to do it, we bring them down, we demonstrate it again, we bring them down the next week, we demonstrate it, we bring them down, we look at it again. This kind of looking at the pose after you've done it once, looking at it after you've done it twice, looking at it after you've done it the next time, really enables you to kind of learn. Because when you're in the pose and you're upside down, it's quite hard to really understand a lot of the things that are being said. And we might introduce one aspect. The teacher might look at the group and think, this isn't happening. So we're going to bring you all down and we're going to show you this part of it. Then we'll come down, we'll emphasize this part. The benefits of the inverted poses are a lot. They really are important. Of all the poses we can do in yoga, from a physiological, from a psychological point of view, inversions in a sense offer us more than anything. So they're really important poses. They are important poses to do properly. You don't want to hurt yourself doing them. But if you do them properly and you're well prepared, they're perfectly safe poses to do. So we're going to go through shoulder stand. This is just the beginning of it. Don't be overly ambitious. Don't try and stay up 5 minutes straight away. Just build up each week, next week, and week after. I'll show you a little more about the pose. So we're going to do it together. Check your equipment. 4 blankets, neat edge to the side. Chair to take your feet on. Belt, shoulder width apart. Belt's going on one arm. Now, you're going to have to do it with me now and not see, but again, if you want to watch first, watch it again, and then have another go, rewind it and do it again. The more you see it, the better you'll get a good understanding of it. I'm going to go to the lie on your blanket, shoulders a couple of inches in from the edge. So make sure your shoulders are on the blanket and your head should be touching on the floor. Hands are by your feet side, palms facing down, just so you know where that is. And now you're going to bend the knees to your chest and then take your feet to the chair. So your feet will be on the chair, your back ribs are in, and you're going to see if you can reach your belt and put it under both your elbows. I'm going to tuck my shoulders a little back from the edge and bring the back ribs in. Then hands onto your back, legs lifted, legs are straight. So you're in Halasana. Elbows press them down, upper arms press them down. So really feel that your weight now is in your arms, pushing down. Elbows down, upper arm down, shoulders down, legs are straight. Now, if that feels like enough for today, stay there. Otherwise, take one leg up slowly, and you can see where it is, and take it straight up to the ceiling. Bring the other leg down, bring that leg down, take the other leg up, and then come down. Hands trying to lift your back up. So your hands are lifting your back ribs up towards the ceiling. One leg up, and then down. One leg up, Now if you feel steady and you kind of want to go further, take the other leg up, hands on your back, lifting your back ribs up, one foot down, other foot down. Take your hands off your back, remove the belt, and roll down. Now come back and bring your shoulders onto the floor. Take your arms to the side of your blankets and rest there. You can keep your knees bent at this point. So your head's on the floor, shoulders are on the floor, and the blanket is coming to about the bottom of your shoulder blades. And just rest there for a moment. Roll to your side to come up. So that's just the beginning of shoulder stand. Now, say when we teach this, I have people who maybe do the beginner's course 3 times, 4 times longer, and they just kind of really working on that basics. They mightn't approach shoulder stand until their 3rd or 4th time through the course. So we do have an alternative. We might give them a couple of different alternatives where they start to get their legs upside down. I'll show some of those next time in the next class. So I wanted to spend that time on shoulder stand. Keep having a look at it, get a good visual for it, practice it in little chunks, don't try and stay too long. The next 2 classes we'll take it further. Now, we're going to pretty much head towards Savasana now. But before we do that, you're going to sit on your blankets, cross your feet on the floor, so your feet are in front of you crossed, your buttocks is on the blanket. Bring your chair in. Take your elbows so they rest on the chair, and then rest your head on the chair. We're just going to be here for a moment. And just look here, buttocks on the floor, on the blanket, feet are on the floor, and my head is resting down. Come up and just change your legs over. So you can cross the other leg and place it in front. Rest down. And release. Now, because we've got the chair here, we're going to use that today for our Savasana. So I'm going to put the chair to the back edge of my mat. And this way of doing Savasana, if you've got a lower back which is problematic, and for a lot of people lying flat, it kind of doesn't feel very comfortable. So move those out for a moment. I'm going to take my blankets, and today I'm going to use 2 blankets for my head. And I mentioned last week, so if you're bigger in the shoulders, if you're a bit stiffer in the neck, you may find 2 blankets better. 2 blankets will be good for some people, it won't necessarily be good for everyone. But different body types will require different heights to support the head. So I'm going to put my 2 blankets here. Again, if that feels like it's too high and your head really gets pushed forward, you may want to just go back to 1 blanket. So, in just watching me first, I'm going to sit, so my buttocks is quite close to the chair, and my calves are going to rest up on the chair. Now, if you're very tall, and you may want to put a blanket between your calves and your chair, so your legs can really rest down flat. And I could probably maybe have a little bit of height, but I won't take it there today. But you want your calves and your shins to rest flat. Your arms are to the side, like Savasana, like we've been doing. Now I want you to, also today I'm going to get you to raise your chest up and draw your shoulders down your back and release your arms to the side. Palms facing up. So this is the position of your arms. You can see the legs, they're resting up on the chair. You notice the blanket. It doesn't go under my shoulders. And I'm also using the neat edge of the blanket to go in towards the head. So that's the position that the body's going to be in. Blanket under the head, chair under the legs. Now I'm going to get you to set up in that. So take what you need. Set yourself up with your calves on the chair, the blankets under your head but not under your neck. Let's move that a little to the side. Arms out to the side. Now you'll notice that your back, your lower back is a lot flatter down. Now that's why it's quite good if you have, people who have stiffer backs or problems with the lower back, it's quite a restful pose to do. So even without anything else, your back is stiff, you've had a long day at work, try lying on your back with your calves up on a chair like that, and you generally you'll get quite good relief from it. So hopefully you're lying down now. You can now close your eyes. Check the blanket isn't under your shoulders, it's just under your neck and head. Close your eyes. Your palms of your hands should be facing the ceiling. Now your body, your whole spine is very resting down. The whole spine should feel quite flat against the floor now. And that's a very good position for the spine to be in. It's resting the spine now. And that helps your whole body rest down. So Savasana is a good pose to help us relax because we're on the floor. We're resting on the floor and we're flat, we're down. And that is a good position for the body to be resting in. Eyes are closed. I keep saying that because often the eyes will just want to keep opening and opening and opening. And you're just starting to look at these things. You're starting to observe things like your eyes now over a few weeks. You're starting to observe your body lying flat. Because when you're flat, you can see if you're fidgeting or if you're moving about, it's a little more obvious. With the eyes closed, release your jaw, release your tongue. So those two parts of your face, jaw soft, tongue soft. Let your eyes now release back. So today we're looking a little more towards the eyes, the jaw, the tongue, some of these, or what we call organs of perception. So you notice often the jaw just unknowingly clenches. Right at your back teeth, soften your lower jaw from your upper jaw. Soften your tongue in your mouth. Quieten your eyes. So remember the eyes are closed. Now the skin on your face. I want you to soften the skin on your face. Between your eyebrows, over your cheeks, over your forehead. So all those parts, just let them release a little more. The outer corners of your mouth, soft. Breath. Now the breath, just observe your breath. Have a listen to the breath. Observe the sound it makes. Observe whether your breathing is fast or unsteady. Keep watching it and it will slow down. Just keep your mind and your breath connected. And that means just watching the breath at this point. If you watch the breath, you'll find it just quietens down. It slows down when it's watched. And that quieter or slower breath, when that comes, that will help you slow down, it will help you quieten down. So watching the breath as you breathe in, watching the breath as you breathe out, and all those parts of the face, still the eyes quiet, still the jaw soft, tongue soft.
So you feel this kind of settling from top to bottom. So from the face as if to the back of the head, you're releasing. Smooth inhalation, smooth, soft exhalation. Now, just bring your legs a little back towards the edge of the chair. Bring your hands to your abdomen. Let your eyes slowly and quietly open. And then roll to your right side. Lesson 4. We learned a few new poses in this lesson. We're going to consolidate those poses over the next few lessons.